Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through October 2025, brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady, Diane Bro Realtor. In case you haven't figured it out, I am not the Pickle Lady. That's me in the bottom right-hand corner. My name is Randall, and the Pickle Lady has authorized me to show you the following slides as always, starting with the median sales price per square foot in the city of Prescott. So in this chart, blue is last year and red is this year. Each dot represents the median sales price per square foot in that particular month. As you can see, these two lines look like they keep kissing and hugging. They're still within 1%. I think they were 1% lower than the year before in September. Same thing in October. So we're trailing just a little bit behind last year. These lines have been flat for some time now, so not surprising. This is kind of interesting. So July, August, September, suddenly our transaction volume was running way out ahead of last year. I kind of expected that maybe to continue. Wasn't really quite sure what to expect. But we are back in line with last year. Just a little bit above our transaction volume last year. And the transaction volume, that's the number of closings in this particular month. So we're kind of coming back in line with what we saw last year. Overall, it is a strong buyer's market. Here's how we determine that by using our pending ratio analysis again for the city of Prescott. When we ran these numbers, there were 692 homes on the market. Of those, 94 of them were already pending. 94 is 14% of 692, so our pending ratio is 14%. If you look up 14% in our handy-dandy color chart here, you'll see that that constitutes a strong buyer's market. If you break that out kind of by price point, you get something that looks a little like this. All right, so down at the bottom, these blue bars that represents transaction volume. As usually kind of a normalish sort of curve, except when you get to 1.2 million and above, there's a whole bunch of those guys. I'll have to dig into that a little bit more. We get some high-end homes out there and find out what's going on. This is the pending ratio for the homes in that price point. So in the for the 300s, it looks like shy of 50 homes sold, and the pending ratio was right around 10%. So it's almost an extreme buyer's market. This is a very unusual curve. Generally, what you see is the lower the price, the more of a seller's market it is. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing this weird uptick where it becomes more and more of a seller's market the higher we go in price. Not sure what's going on. And then it falls out at the 700s, kind of bounces back. This is kind of all over the map. I'm really not sure what to make of this. Typically, you see this as just kind of a line that goes down to the right. But this is kind of all over the map. So I'm not quite sure what's going on by price point here. We'll see if that settles out. I think this is the second month in a row. We saw some weird patterns. So I'll keep an eye on that, see if we can't make some sense of it. How long does it take for homes to sell? Well, overall, that's 5.2 months until we get to contract. Typically, escrow is about a month. We've been running a little less than that. That means we had a high mix of cash deals. Those tend to go a bit faster. So a little bit less than a month. So we're running about 6 months overall from the time you put the market on MLS until you close, about 6 months. Turning now to Prescott Valley, same sort of thing. We're looking at median sales price per square foot. We're actually 6% lower than last year at this time, which is weird. We've been kind of beating last year for a few months, kind of skating right on top of that ice. Last month we dipped a little bit below. Now we're a lot lower. So I'm thinking we're seeing some price reductions out in Prescott Valley. Here's our transaction volume, all kind of still within the realm. These lines kind of bounce back. The red line was running behind, it was running ahead, now it's running behind before. I would say these are about even, Steven. If you look at the pending ratio in Prescott Valley, our pending ratio was 19% of 366 in inventory. That is a strong buyer's market as well. Breaking that out into price points, you kind of see more of the traditional drift to the right, although when you get to the higher price points out in Prescott Valley, this air gets really thin. There are not a lot of homes out here. So this is kind of a mess. This always bounces around quite a bit. Still seeing the 800s closer to a balanced market. Oh, it's just kind of weird. I think that's a very popular price point, and just not as much volume as some of the others. So that pending ratio went up a lot higher, almost a balanced market in the 800s in Prescott Valley. Other than that, you kind of see just the traditional drift to the right as the home prices get higher. It becomes more and more of a buyer's market. Taking about 4.5 months to get to a contract, and then a full month of escrow, bringing us at 5.5 overall in PV. So here are our highlights. Price per square in the city of Prescott is running about $316. That is 1% lower than last month and 1% lower than last year. And Prescott Valley, that number is more like $281, which is 4% lower than last month and 6% lower than last year. So some significant drop there out in Prescott Valley. Volume in Prescott's 116 transactions in the month of October. That is 24% lower than last month, but we're still 4% higher than last year. Similarly, in Prescott Valley, we had a 12% decline in Prescott Valley's volume, and that's 19% year over year. Right now, inventory in Prescott is running at 692. That's 8% lower than last year. 366, about 3% lower than last year. Month to contract, 5.2 months to contract in Prescott. That's almost a month longer than we saw last month as those transaction volumes start to drop. 4.5 months to contract, which is almost even, Steven, from last month. Look, if you like this kind of stuff, we got lots more for you in the Prescott Home Value Report. This is just a summary. We go into specific subdivisions and just a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of slicing and dicing. So I would encourage you to download that report and get it in full. We update this report every month, but it is not the only report we do. We also have what we call the Appraiser's Eye View, which is the last 6 months of the latest comps. And it's broken out by subdivision. In fact, Prescott Lakes, we break it out by neighborhood. So it's very, very detailed. This is an example of what you'll see in the chart. This would be a subdivision. It is sorted by price per square foot, the number of months that it took the home to sell, square footage, the year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the listing agent is reporting the home having a view or not. Using this, you can look at all the different comps that occurred. You can see the average down here. So using this, it's a really good tool to figure out what you should be paying for a home, or where you might want to price a home that you are selling. So a really cool tool. We even have a video which goes through how to use this information to come up with value estimates for homes. We do a whole lot of tools like this, all of them really very cool for both buyers and sellers. And one thing I should point out is you can't get these from any place else. These are exclusive. You can only get them from the Prescott Pickle Lady. And all of this is part of our page. We call it Prescott by the Numbers, or more commonly the Pickle page. So if you're on the Pickle page, you know the Pickle page. But if you're not the Pickle page, well, you should get to the Pickle page. And you do that by subscribing. We update it every month. If you subscribe, we will send you a monthly email update with the link so you can go download all the reports that you want. Even if you're not all that interested in getting every single month, just having access to these tools will give you a real leg up when it comes to the real estate game. I hope you found this informative and maybe slightly entertaining, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Please take a moment to look below and find the button that'll take you to the Pickle page. We'll see you there.